Hello, and welcome. Happy Thursday. I had a little schedule change. My life is a little bit in flux with a bathroom remodel that's happening on the other side of that wall. So, we're finding a quiet time today to actually chat. So, welcome. We are still journeying through the possibilities in with the Aries cycle energy as we passed our recent full moon last weekend. How did that flow for you? And now we are in that waning energy as we move towards the next new moon. The sun moves into Taurus today. So astrologically, there's been a lot of energy. And I know it's been a lot for folks. And I wanted to talk about this cycle of this fire energy that we kind of feel with Aries, and then as things can diminish and ebb and flow, which is just the realities of and an important part of ebbing and flowing in our business. But how can you keep that fire going when you get that real excitement for something? And how do you keep that underlying passion going in your business in a way that doesn't burn you out, where you're not overdoing it? This is a topic I'm super passionate about, having been in business, myself having, when I was in corporate, we also had a restaurant and I was doing all the things and, really took myself out at the knees, physically, emotionally, etc., by overdoing, trying to do everything. And I see that happening with entrepreneurs, especially, those of you that, you're here to be in the helping profession, you're spiritual leaders, you're spiritual entrepreneurs, you're wanting to improve this world. And sometimes we can put our own well-being aside to try to do more for others and to get that message that we have out in the world. So let's talk about how we keep the fire burning and make sure that we're well taken care of at the same time. And if you're watching me live, say hello. You got to give StreamYard permission. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. So I think one of the most important things to remember is, I wave this flag all the time. A thriving business requires a nourished and happy you. And so we want to keep that fire smoldering underneath, but we don't want to shift to the energy of burnout. We don't want to allow ourselves to get physically, emotionally, or mentally super drained. Really, your number one job as an entrepreneur is to take care of you so that you can take care of your clients. And that means nourishing all those parts of you: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And I think I want to give you just today some really simple things and I know you all know these things. I've been, doing this up leveling of me and my business. And I've really been looking at all of these pieces for myself, because as we grow and change and look to make shifts, these are foundational things that we need to be looking at for ourselves in order to be able to be at our best. So, one of the most simple things I think you can do is to know what drains you and what fills you up. So we each have this beautiful inner battery that gets charged up by certain things, like playing with my granddaughter charges me up. And then there's things that drain us. Really having to sit in front of a computer and look at spreadsheets all day drains me. So I don't do that anymore. But knowing for yourself what drains you and what fills you up, and keeping that mindfulness around it. So maybe you do need to do, certain tasks in your business that you don't love. If you can't delegate them, then how can bookend it with some things that do fill you up, so that you're paying attention to those drains and giving yourself charge that battery. Super, super important. So that's one tip. So plan for that. Plan if you're going to do your bookkeeping or you're going to do something techy that you know drains you. Plan for adding in something right after or shortly after that fills you up. We want to be managing not just our time, but our energy. So that means not doing all the time, but making space so that you can be inspired, making space for those things that fill you up so you can come back to your business with fresh eyes. And I can tell you yesterday, between the remodel happening and all the noise um, and just not getting as much work done, much of the things done during the day that I wanted to, I thought, why did I say yes to taking my granddaughter this afternoon? Well, why did I say yes? Because it really did allow me to refuel my tank, to get some inspiration. And last night I knocked out in a really quick amount of time what I think is pretty damn brilliant. And if I had pushed through the afternoon and just kept going and said, I can't take her today, that probably wouldn't have happened because I wouldn't have had that ebb and flow. And it's so, so important. Take those intentional pauses, find those times to fill yourself up so that you can stay inspired. Keep that fire burning in your business. The other piece is, don't try and do all the things. Really, I talk about this all the time, just getting focused. What's one thing that's going to move the meter? I'm super inspired about a lot of the things that I'm looking at as I'm looking at, reinventing and rebranding my business a bit, or just tightening up the brand, really. But I really need to focus on what's most important right now and then leave space in my schedule over time to do those creative endeavors. But what is going to actually move the meter? Usually, for most of us, that's getting clients, increasing our income, right? Those are the things as an entrepreneur that are going to keep your business flowing. And so, what is that? Maybe it's more visibility. So knowing that you are putting energy and attention into that every day, that one thing that's going to move your business forward, is truly, truly the key to staying out of overwhelm. And by the way, getting results faster. But it's really, really powerful because we can be like, okay, I got that one thing done. And that was the thing yesterday. I could say to myself, I got that one thing done that's moving the meter in my business. And so I can take that pause. And then I came back to my business with fresh eyes, with a fresh point of view. So really allowing for that flow and those cycles for yourself. And remember, I think one of the most important things to do as you look at that one thing that's going to move the meter is, in order to keep that fire burning, give yourself evidence that things are happening, because they always are and we don't always see it. So brag wall, testimonials, but sitting at each day and just collecting your wins really is important. That's what keeps that fire going, because we can easily say, I didn't do enough. I didn't make enough progress. And I say, what's true about that? You made progress. Maybe it wasn't the progress you thought you were going to make or had hoped to make, but at the end of the day, collect all of those wins. That's going to ensure that you are, keeping that fire burning, getting excited about what's next, leaving room for inspiration. So let's recap some really simple things that you can do. We want to keep the fire going in our business for ourselves, to keep that inspiration going, but we don't want to burn ourselves out. So, nourishing all parts of you, making sure that you understand what drains you so you can stop those drains, and what fills you up so you can plug into that. Manage that time and energy so you're not doing all the time, but making space to get inspired, making space to take care of your physical well-being, making space to take care of your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Making that is managing your energy. And then the third thing is don't try and do all the things. Really focus on, if you've got a big project that you want to work on, I'm working on this branding project, but I'm taking it in chunks. What's one piece of it that I can work that's going to make the biggest difference right now? And I'm putting things in order of what's most important that I see for the flow. I don't have to do it all right now. So if even when you have a big project, when you have a launch, when you've got something going on, really chunking that out. I used to do this with my older son who has learning differences. We chunked out the work. That in and of itself can make all the difference in the world. But any projects, anything you're working on outside of that, the most important thing is, what is that main goal for your business right now? And what's one thing you can do to move the meter every day towards that goal? More clients, more income, more visibility. Do that one thing, collect the evidence of your wins, and this is going to help you stay in that beautiful, positive cycle and not burn yourself out. So I'd love to know what you think, how you're keeping the fires burning in your business and staying nourished yourself, and what questions you might have. If you have not done my Power of One empowered to-do list training, it is I did it recently live, which was phenomenal, so much fun. And the comments I got back were, this is life-changing stuff. It's so simple, but it is life-changing. So in my opinion as well, when your to-do list can fit on a Post-it note, you've got it. So if you have not done that and you would be interested in getting that training, just raise your hand, say yes, please, and I will reach out to you and get you a link to it. I've just been reformatting it so it's a little bit easier. I've got a great one-pager and I'm working on some actual custom Post-it notes. So thank you all for showing up in the world and doing what you do. And please make sure you're taking care of you in the process. All right. And remember, as always, all it takes is a little bit of heart power. All right. I will see you next time.